the last few years I've been in the VTuber community, I've seen them get a glimpse of attention outside of their streams, whether that's getting some voice cameos in anime or literally appearing on the news. What about an anime that's about VTubers themselves? Well, we did have that Kisuna Ai anime, which released to, well, mixed reception, what with them shoving NFTs down our throats and all. The needle turned in 2024 though, with the release of VTuber Legend, how I went viral after forgetting to turn off my stream. When this anime premiered, this immediately got the attention of the community this was aimed at, and praised for its sense of humor and just how accurate it tends to be when it comes to your average VTuber group, and maintaining relevancy in a cutthroat industry. What many may not know is that this story was in development for a while before the anime. This isn't an original for TV project. So I'm here to take a look at the rise of VTuber Legend, why the main character stands out, and how it became a cult hit. Hi, I'm your sunshine, Yui Tachibana, and like many others, I too was drawn in by the presence alone, since like I said, I'm active in the VTuber community, where cheering on idols is taken to a digital world. It's been no secret that it's made a positive impact on many idols who came into this genre of streaming, including those who feel more like themselves when they get into character rather than put on their real faces out there. This phenomenon of VTubing grew so large that it only seemed inevitable that a story based on this medium would soon form. It sounds hand in hand, basically taking something like Love Live and crossing it over with streaming. Now, VTuber Legend originally got a start as a light novel by Nana Nanato in 2020, originating on the novel sites Haminin and Kakuyomo, later getting official publications the following year. The story involves VTuber Awayuki Kokorone, real name Yuki Tanaka, whose subscriber count is amongst the lowest, especially compared to her jam mates in the group Live On. When one day after a stream is over, she accidentally leaves it on, where her true, unhinged, and chaotic personality is exposed for the world to see, turning her into a viral sensation overnight. Turns out her company had been waiting for something like this to happen for her for a long time, so the goal was struck, and initially feeling embarrassment over her not meant to be seen moments, Awayuki is convinced to keep at it with her degeneracy. This part of the story says a lot about how VTubers tend to have a lot of competition going into their own respective careers. You see, it's not as simple as turning on a webcam and microphone and suddenly money starts flooding in. Oh wait, NPC streams existed. Strax that.
But why?
But the point being, virality is pretty much everything in social media these days. It's that one sparkling moment that could change your life for better or worse. And in Awayuki's case, the tides turned in her favor once she showed her fans that she too could be a degenerate and learn to embrace it and evolve as a content creator. I think back to how insane the debut was for Salome from Niji Sanji, with her first stream literally showing her gastroscopy photos and throwing around "Desuwa" after every sentence. I remember thinking not only did she come out of nowhere, but a legit possibility that she would surpass Gargura as the most viral VTuber ever. Which, speaking of whom, everyone remembers how she literally said one letter in the alphabet, and everyone fell in love with the baby shark of VTubers. It's examples like those that I'm reminded of when it comes to seeing the sudden rise and virality of someone who is supposed to be a collected and polite princess. Then again, when you look at the VTuber community itself, isn't everyone the exact opposite of what their character is? I mean, you got Hollow Avon, who are supposed to be a group of criminals, but then everyone's a goddamn comedian. Narissa's having children with Gigi, Shiori is the definition of a lost cause, Bibu is Gen Alpha as a VTuber, and the Fuomoco twins? They got this beef with Kevin Lamar, that's what they call him. And they love violence too.
Violence.
And expanding on Gigi, her chaotic unhingedness is who I think of the most when it comes to Awayuki. You may not know what to expect going into their streams. Are you getting a chill stream or a degenerate stream? It's the #1 rule of VTubing. Instantly break character after your debut. After all, the cracks are gonna widen and you're heading down a route of being the funniest comedian on the block. Another aspect of VTubing that is tackled by VTuber Legend is the theme of Yuri. It's a running gag in the community that most VTubers are lesbians because of how they tend to lean on fan service regarding lesbianism and how they need to get a room already and make out. In VTuber Legend, half the cast is unironically that, with characters Sei Utsuki and Shion Kaminari in a relationship together, and Mashiro having feelings for Awayuki. Depending on who you support in the community, the Yuri themes usually come in the form of innuendo that often makes way for clippers to farm ad revenue off of, but there do exist lesbian VTubers out there, and I think VTuber Legend handles this in a nice manner. This, coupled with many aspects in the community that is common, like playing eroge, endurance streams, ASMR, collaborations, among others, all of which is sampled in the VTuber Legend story, makes for an entertaining watch. It was clear from the beginning this was one for the books. 3 years before the animation launched, Awayuki appeared in the stream with Hosho Marine. Now if you're curious, no, LiveOn is not a real group sadly. However, a channel with the LiveOn name was made to promote the anime, featuring content from many of the characters, including a cover of Stellar by Hoshimachi Suisei, which sits at over 1 million views. Also, if you're as degenerate as me and the LiveOn girls are, I bet your heart was pounding at the Ria's Grammary cameo. My gooner ass got hard at that. Which, by the way, VTuber Legend and High School DxD have the same production studio, not to mention Ria's was summoned by Hareru, who share the same voice actress. This reminds me so much of how Aya Hirano and Wendy Lee voiced both Haruhi Suzumiya and Konata Izumi, and how those two were brought together. Also, I realize this is the closest we've gotten to TNK and animated DxD again. I know some of y'all never got over Season 4's art style. VTuber Legend is pretty much to VTubing what Love Life is to traditional idol culture. It feels like an inside look of what goes on at your average VTuber group, and a fair and accurate representation of the benefits that come with virality in the community. I would say this is one of my favorites in the 2024 anime season. Even if this never gets a season 2, I'm perfectly happy to see this story get attention. I may have to go read the original light novels after this. So, what do you think of VTuber Legend? What are some of your favorite moments in the show? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching this video. Support my Patreon and my Ko-fi, and follow me on X, and subscribe to my channel. I upload weekly. And join my Discord to be part of the movement. Special thanks to Jason N and Driel Kudis for supporting the Patreon. If you'd like to get a shout out at the end of my videos, please support the Patreon. This is your sunshine, Yui Tachibana, sun setting for the day.